Welcome back to another video of Science with me, and today we have benzos, opioids, MDMA, oh my, get it, lions, tigers, bears, oh my. And today we're going to be talking about how benzos, opioids, and MDMA alter the brain's chemistry. So, first off, I'm going to be answering your science questions. I put the form down in the description, and ask me anything because I love science. And I bet you guys got science questions, so give them to me, whatever you want. Legally, I'm not cop. So ask me, and I will do my best to answer them in the next video. So, and another thing, thank you guys for the response, and I'm glad I get to talk more about it. So, let's get into it. So, last time we talked about the brain, how the brain works, the brain's chemistry, and how substances impact that brain's chemistry, hence causing the effects, like alcohol impacting the GABA and making you loopy. There's a lot of it. You have to go back and watch that other one. But yeah, the brain is a chemical communication system, and neurons signal via neurotransmitters across synapses to regulate mood, pain, and arousal. And disrupting those signals, like with substances, changes perception and behavior in your brain, hence affecting you and changing your body and your movement and stuff. So first, let's get into drug mechanisms. Benzodiazepines, fancy word here. So benzodiazepines strengthen GABA, the brain's braking system, so makes you more calm because you're not having as many responses in your brain due to the GABA being inhibited. So they signal calm neural activity, so you just chill, because it just like tranquilizer, just turns you off. So it produces sedation, reduced anxiety, and impaired memory formation when the GABA tone is elevated. And opioids are kind of similar in that way, but they also mostly increase the dopamine because of the inhibited GABA. So opioids mimic endogenous painkillers, which block pain signals. So that's why they're used a lot after surgery. But they're also used a lot for recreation, which is not good. And you can see the levels of strength in them with fentanyl being at the very top. That's why there's so many people that die from it, because it is extremely dangerous, because it is the strongest opioid out there. So stay away from that. Never ever. So opioids block pain signals, and they increase dopamine boosting. And because of that, it results in your pain being relieved, strong euphoria, and higher addiction risk, because these are the most addictive, I would personally say, because of how strong they are. So when you get into really strong ones, it's really hard. So yeah, they enhance reward signaling and reduce pain, which is why they are so loved by some people. So MDMA, there's many names for it. There's like Molly and stuff. Let's see. Yeah, ecstasy and Molly. So right here, this is one of my favorite things. 1 for the money, 2 for the better green, 3 for holy methylene dioxine methamphetamine. It's because that's the chemical name for Molly, and it's like a quintuple entendre by MF Doom. Fun fact, but it forces massive serotonin release, which makes you extremely happy. So that's why it's a party drug, because people use it at parties to have heightened sociability and sensory changes. And because of it, it impacts the serotonin system and makes your mood better, makes you, I think I'd say, emotional more. And it's used for social connections, so people use them at parties a lot because it helps you bond with people. What do you think? But it enters serotonin neurons and uses SERT transponders and forces serotonin out of storage, having a huge serotonin release in your brain, making you more happy, more social, more less anxious, all those things. So that's what MDMA slash Molly slash ecstasy is for. It also increases arousal. That's why people use it. So let's go through some key takeaways here. So, the GABA break, which is benzodiazepines, which boost GABA, the brain's inhibitory break, slowing neural firing and reducing anxiety because it really puts you down. That's what Xanax, Valium, Klonopin, and it's also used as like a common treatment for anxiety and panic attacks because it takes you down. So the brain's break is GABA, so it just puts a pause on that. So makes you down, 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 down. And so it binds to GABA A receptors, but it doesn't replace it. And it makes it more effective, kind of. So more chloride enters neurons, and neurons become harder to activate. And less activation means more mellow. You're going to be way, way, way down. So effects, sedation, muscle relaxation, impaired memory, because GABA is also your memory, and excessive GABA tone, and cognitive and motor slowing, just like alcohol in a way. So here's for opioids. So opioids mimic endogenous opioids to block pain and indirectly raise dopamine in reward circuits, because it boosts it by binding to opioid receptors and reducing pain signaling, suppressing GABA neurons. And dopamine neurons become more active as a result of that because they're going to be sensitive and take a little fun text and you go, whoa, you're going to be so happy because of it. So it really makes you more influenced by happiness while reducing pain hugely because it binds to pain signalings and cuts it out pretty muchly. And endorphins are natural painkillers in the body. That's why opioids mimic those. So your body's like, whoa, I guess we're really producing some relaxation today. And for MDMA slash Molly slash ecstasy, serotonin surge is the MDMA triggering a massive serotonin wave, amplifying mood, empathy, sensory intensity, and the benefits are transient prosocial effects, making you more social, more giddy, more happy, and more able to just flow, hence it being a party drug. So the risks are neurochemical imbalances because of it, and emotional downturn after use, because when you're right here, you can't go up here, then go back here, because now this is so much lower than this, making you lessened mood. And we already did a quick sum up of how it works, but forces serotonin into your brain, make you more social. Party drug. Woo woo! So in conclusion, these three are GABA calming, opioids block pain, and serotonin floods emotion. So remember, guys, benzos, GABA, opioids, or endorphins, both of them can be used, and MDMA is serotonin. So understanding these can clarify its effects and make you more wise of how it works and what it's doing. And people use them for therapeutic uses, for fun, but it's also used for things like after you have surgery, you're going to be in a lot of pain, so you need things like opioids. So be mindful of that. And all of these have very high addiction risks, so it's also important to be aware of. But also have medical uses, like Benzos, are used as a common anxiety treatment and ADHD treatment. So, key takeaway: Benzos, stronger brakes, GABA system; opioids, pain suppression, reward pathway activation; and MDMA, emotional signal overload, serotonin systems. And so, in conclusion, 3 drugs, 3 systems, 3 different ways that they hijack the same machine, your brain, your ball of thinking chemicals, and hijack it to increase it, lower it, change it in different ways. So don't forget, ask any science question you have. I will do my best to answer it. And thank you for watching. Stay smart, and study science.